Welcome to the second episode of Questions and Answers with Pro Wrestling Live. My name's James Venom, and you don't know me. You're about to. What does it feel like to get booed? It's an unexplainable electric feel, almost a euphoria. They say as a villain, if you're getting booed, you're doing your job right. So to know that I'm getting booed is a great feeling to me, because it means that I'm going out there, I'm doing what I'm doing right and doing it well. And I had a period a couple of years back, we was running a storyline with Elise. We'd had our match. It was a main event. We'd lost the match. Scrubber Daddy sacked Sergeant Fury and Dangerous Dave from our team, and turned to me and said, "You know what you've got to do." So I went backstage, grabbed Elise and dragged her into the ring. And I don't think either of us were expecting the kind of reaction that was going to get, because Elise was still fairly new onto doing shows, but she was so popular with the fans because she'd always been the face of PWL, the front of house. Everybody knew who she was. You know, she'd just done the storyline with Bob Barrett, and she was really making a name for herself on the roster, so everybody loved her. So for me to drag her into the ring by her hair and me and Scrubber Daddy to knock her about, it didn't go down well. But the boos we got, the heat, it was unreal. So we'd sort of expected to get the right reaction, but nothing like how it was. So Mad Dog come to the ring swinging a chair about. We got out. We jumped out into the crowd and was making our way out, and some of the comments we was getting off people, it was we knew we'd done a good job of what we were doing, but at the same time it was almost scary, because whereas people had booed us before, this was legit anger. And I looked round, and people who were normally quite placid and friendly to me when I was showing them to the seats at the start of the show, had turned completely different. They were angry at what we'd done. So we knew what we'd done was the right thing for the job. But to be booed like that was absolutely fantastic. I actually had we had a show the following night. One of our underground shows, Secret Wars, at the training facility at Darlaston, and someone actually walked up to me at the start of the show and went, "Mad Dog Maxie's going to kill you, and I hope you die." And that was a little bit scary, I ain't gonna lie. Someone walking up to you and saying, "I hope you die," but also I was quite proud that I'd instigated that reaction from someone, that what we'd done yeah, we'd done the good job. We'd done what we were being paid to do, and we was happy with that. So we was actually told that we weren't allowed to go out into the crowd after the show to sign autographs because people was that angry at us that we couldn't go out. So me and Scrubber Daly, we looked at each other and went, come on, let's go start a riot. So yeah, I'll go and follow Scrubber Daly. We go outside, course George, get people genuinely hated us, absolutely hated us, and for the right reasons. But yeah, that feeling of walking through the curtain and having 300 odd people at Darlaston Town Hall boo you, it's a great feeling. It's an absolute buzz, and I can't compare anything in life to it. It's just fantastic. I wouldn't change it for the world, mate. I wouldn't change it for the world. Brilliant. Well, when I first started out in the wrestling, as I said before, I was never going to be a wrestler. I was always going to be a bodyguard, manager. My first appearance for PWL, I was Superstar Carlos's bodyguard. And it was quite funny because it wasn't until 3 days after the show that I realised I was coming out to One Direction. So I've come out looking mean and fierce and menacing to Baby You Light Up My Life or something like that. I don't know the song, but it always makes me laugh. But the character Venom, he was never originally called James Venom. In fact, my name, as I'll come out as Carlos's bodyguard, was James Jennings III. So a lot of thought went into that. I think there was a few sleepless nights, and Matt came up with James Jennings III, which I thought, okay, yeah, I'll go with that. It's my name. You can't go far wrong with your own name, I suppose. But as I started to do a bit more training, I'd started working on a character and a name. Well, the name wasn't all that easy to come up with. In fact, round about the time that I started training, I was in touch with a few lads in America. So David and Cody, and we was always talking about wrestling, and they'd done a bit of wrestling training in the States, and I was asking them for advice on, how do I come up with a name to be a wrestler? I mean, I can't just. Cody turned around to me and says, "Well, what you need to do is take something you're interested in and pick it from that." I says, "Well, the only thing I'm interested in is painting." I says, "I can't really go around calling myself James the Artist or James Painter." And he says, "Well, do what Batman did and do something you're scared of." I says, "Well, I'm scared of snakes." He says, "Well, James the Snake then." Oh, we went through it for ages and ages, and he come up with something to do with poison. And I was like, "Oh, that's not a bad idea, that." And we'd come up with this name that I couldn't say it all that well. It didn't roll off the tongue as easy it probably would have done for an American. So I was like, "Oh, I'll look in the thesaurus. Right, what other names go with poison? Look, Venom. James Venom's got a good ring to it." Yeah, I said, "I'm gonna have a word with Matt and tell him." So I went to training on the Saturday. So Matt says, I've come up with a name rather than being called James Jennings III. So what do you think of it? And back then I was still really green, and yeah, back in the day I was like, "Oh, what's your finisher?" I haven't got a finisher. I haven't got any moves. I haven't got nothing. So I come up with James Venom, and that kind of stuck. Matt liked it. It wasn't until 2 years later that I found out that Matt originally planned to put the name Bison on me. So if I hadn't come up with James Venom with my mates in America, then you'd be looking at James Bison right now. I don't know if that's got the same ring to it, do you? But I mean, the biker look and the biker gimmick, that's kind of how I used to dress years ago. Anyway, when I was, I mean, a lot of the stuff I first wore was wrestling was stuff I probably would have worn out to a nightclub on a Saturday night, going to the Planet or Corrosion in Wolverhampton Civic. So it was all stuff that I had anyway that just kind of found its way into me wearing it as wrestling gear, and obviously gradually progressed. I did the leather coat, the leather jacket, which not many people know I actually made myself. Cutting down and adding patches to and different things over the years. It's never a finished article, the leather coat, but for me that jacket's priceless, and I'll never get rid of that. But the James Venom nearly wasn't James Venom. He was nearly a bodyguard called James Bison, who never wrestled, just looked after people and cheated every so often. So that's how that happened and how the character came to be. But I think when I first started, I'd mug the crowd off a little bit, but I wasn't quite as horrible and nasty and vicious as I am now. So I think over the years I've turned more bitter and aggressive than I have when I probably was actually a lot more angry with life. So maybe wrestling's turned things round for me and I've become less angry with life and more angry at the fans. So cheers guys, it's all on you. Now I'm a big fan of the big power moves. So anything that causes a lot of pain with minimum effort, I'm a big fan of. Quite like doing suplexes. They're a nice move. Obviously, my fall away slam's another one. Catch him in a cross body, unaware, just throw him over your head, launch him across the ring, sit up all cocky. Love it. Can't beat a good fall away slam. Another move I like doing is the choke bomb, but Sergeant Fury likes to use that, so I tend to stay away from it. If I was to pick a really good move that I like from one of the WWE stars, I like the Undertaker's Last Ride. It's a dead good power bomb. I think it's just because the Undertaker makes it look really cool. Not a move he used early in his early days, more when he was the dead man. But I absolutely love that move, the Last Ride. It's quite a powerful finish, and maybe I'll start using it. You never know. Wow, this is a question that it's probably going to take a bit of a while to answer. I've been wrestling for nearly 6 years now, and as I've said many times, I never expected to be able to do this job, but I have done. So I suppose one of my finest achievements is to actually be able to go out there and do the job week after week. Obviously, when the pandemic came on, we was doing shows pretty much every weekend. So for me to be able to go out and do that and do it to the best of my ability, I've always classed that as an achievement in itself. But I mean, as I've said many times, this job, it's been good to me. When I saw the write-up that Matt had done for this question and answer session, I read it 3 times, And it took the third time of reading it to actually realise that the career that Matt was talking about was mine. You know, a man who's wrestled all over the UK, tag team partner of Scrubber Daily, the current PWL Hardcore champion, the current PWL tag team champion, 2 belts, and I'm really proud to be holding these. But not only that, I'm a 2-time Villain of the Year winner. You know, I've got trophies for that. I've never won trophies in my life for anything. I've never done anything sporting or anything like that that would give me an opportunity to win trophies. So that in itself was a great achievement. And I'm sitting here quite proudly holding the Scrubber Daily Challenge Cup. You know, that takes pride of place in my front room. You know, and I'm proud to be the holder of that. But my achievements, yeah, I mean, there's so many. I was the first winner of the Red Eagle seminar to win the place to go to Portugal. And that itself, I'd never been abroad. I don't even have a passport. You know, I wasn't even going to do the seminar, but my missus turned around and booked a place for me with Matt, and she told me, after, says, you're doing this seminar. I said, what do you mean? I said, I can't do that. I ain't good enough to do all that lucha stuff that he does. Yeah, it's not good. Sure, well, I've put you down, now you're doing it. Alright, okay, I'm only going to embarrass myself, but I'll do it anyway. So I went and did it, and 2 days later, Red Eagle and Mad Dog called me to one side and went, well, you're going to Portugal, mate. You've get yourself a passport. You've impressed me and Red. You're going. I was, what? No, okay, how's that possible? He says, you may not be able to do all the flips and all the rest of it, but you had a go, and you tried. Yeah, and you actually surprised us how well actually you could do some of the stuff. So you're going to Portugal, you've earned the place. So in itself, that was a massive achievement, and that was proud of. But I think one of the proudest moments in my career, right after me and Scrubber had won the tag titles, I was obviously holding the 2 belts, the Hardcore Championship and the Tag Championship, within a week of each other. Well, at the time, my old man had been quite ill, and he hadn't been able to come to shows. Now, since I started, he'd been at almost every show he could come to within the Wolverhampton area, but he couldn't be there for the Hardcore tournament because he was quite ill, and towards the end of December he was getting a lot worse. So I decided on Christmas Eve that I was taking the titles round to show him, and his face lit up. He was extremely proud of me. So it was quite an achievement in itself, just to be able to go and show my dad, who couldn't come to the shows anymore, just how proud I was of myself of what I'd achieved. And as it happens, he passed away not long after that, the end of January. So one of my precious memories is actually going and showing him these titles that I'd won, that I knew he'd supported me all through my career and was extremely proud of me. And there'll always be a place in the crowd where he'll be sitting, and every time I go out there and defend these titles, I'll be looking out and making him proud. And each time I do that, I class that as my greatest achievement in my career, making those that have supported me and be proud of me. Just making them proud every time I go out there. Wow. Scrubber Daly, Mac Hardiman. Wow. What a bloke. What a bloke. Can honestly say that from the second I met Mac Hardiman, I found a friend for life. And a lot of people will agree with me on that when they meet the guy on a personal level. He's absolutely amazing to be around. But having him as a manager changed who I was as a wrestler. He opened my eyes to a complete different world of what the business was about, what my character should be, how I should be in the ring, out the ring. You know, as a villain, I've come on leaps and bounds. So what the guy doesn't know about being a villain isn't really worth knowing. I absolutely love Scrubber Daly. As a manager, he changed me. As a tag team partner, wow. Have you ever had a hyperactive child just standing next to you and you go, right, just stand there a minute and I'll just get this and I'll be back. And then you come back and, oh, he's gone. What's he done? And you'll turn your back and Scrubber Daddy's off breaking somebody's arm in the corner or something. I'm going, no, Scrubber, no. Don't break his arm yet. We'll do that in a minute. It's like, I feel like when we're in the ring together, that I'm the adult and Scrubber's the naughty school kid that I've got to keep checking on to go, right, okay, right, don't hit him with that. Right, Scrubber, put the chair down. Scrubber, you choke. You can't breathe, Scrubber. Scrubber, stop. He loves what he's doing. He loves being that horrible bloke, Scrubber Daly. But you know what? I wouldn't have him any other way. We have so much fun when we're out in that ring. It's unbelievable. We play referees up with horrible people, with violent, with vicious, and it's great. I absolutely love it. I couldn't think of anybody I'd rather be with. Yeah, he's great to be around. He's knowledgeable, and he's not frightened to do anything. You know what I mean? We'll go, right, we're doing this match tonight. He'll go, right, I'll take a chair shot to the head. What? Well, we haven't even started. Yeah, just smack me around the head with a chair and we'll get some blood. All right, Mac. All right. Yeah, you sure about that? Yeah. Just hit me in the head. I'll be all right. But if you're going to hit me properly. Because if you don't, I'm going to knock you out. All right, Mac. All right, yeah, sound. So, bang, hit him. Blood everywhere. You all right, mate? Yeah, could have done with hitting me a bit harder. Oh, Mac, come on, man. Let me clean you up. There's blood everywhere. Yeah, I'll sort it. Don't worry. There's no side to him. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how I'd prefer to have him, because he absolutely loves the business. He loves that PWL's become his home, and he loves being around the lads in the back, He loves to come and sit and watch the shows. Not many people know this, but he actually sit and watch every match, and he'll have advice for everybody who's watching it. He'll say something and go, right, you shouldn't do it like that, you should do it like this, or what you've done there is good, but it could be improved by doing this. He's got advice for everybody, and I think everybody agree that having Mac around the training school has helped everybody. It's not just me. Although I'm very lucky to have him as a manager and a tag team partner, everybody's benefited from having Scrubber Daly on the roster. Because like I say, what he doesn't know about the business, it isn't really worth knowing. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank Mac Hardiman for coming into my life and making me a better wrestler and a better person. So, Scrubber Daly, Mac Hardiman, I love you, brother. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Well, I think quite possibly my dream opponent, if I spent my life fantasising about who I'd want to get in the ring with, would probably be The Undertaker. Only because I've been a fan of his since I was very small. In fact, when I was a kid, my dad used to tell me a few tall tales, and he used to tell me that he used to train The Undertaker. I think I was probably about 18 when I realised he was lying to me. So cheers for that, Dad. Appreciate that. But yeah, if that's in Dream World, if I could fight anybody, it'd be The Undertaker. But I think if I really put my heart and soul into my training and the effort, I think a guy I'd love to wrestle is Gangrel. Gangrel, we've had him at about 14, 15 different shows for PWL. And the guy can still move. He's a very talented wrestler, very knowledgeable. He's done seminars with us, evening whiz. He's done wrestling shows, and he's just great to be around. But as a wrestler, as a worker, he's absolutely fantastic. So, in a fantasy world, it'd be The Undertaker, but a fully achievable opponent would be Gangrel. And hopefully, this time next year, we'll have him back, and I'll have the opportunity to present myself as a worthy opponent to go in the ring with him, because I'd love nothing more than to get in the ring with Gangrel. Well, this is quite an easy one, because it's a match I'd very much like to have, and I've actually discussed with the guy himself. I'd like to wrestle on a show for AIWF, which, as you may or may not know, Kevin Phoenix is the world champion for. So naturally, the guy I'd like to wrestle against is Kevin Phoenix. He announced earlier this year or late last year that 2020 was going to be his last year in the ring. So I'd very much like to travel to America and have a bit of a brawl with Kevin Phoenix and take that title off him. If he'd be so kind to sort that out for me, I'd be very grateful. Cheers, Kev. But yeah, I mean, I suppose if like Fantasyland was about, then I'd love to have wrestled for ECW, simply because I love doing the hardcore stuff. I think it suits me a lot better, hitting people with stuff, because when there's no rules, I can't break no rules, can I? Well, I'm going to do this as a two-parter. If James Venom came with a warning label, it would probably say, James Venom hates you. and in very small writing. If you can read this, you're standing too close, because James Venom's dead horrible and says horrible things. But if it was me personally, if I was to come with a warning label, it would probably say, warning, grumpy pants. And that one's definitely for my kids who say that I'm grumpy all the time. I don't think I am. I think I'm a ray of sunshine. Right, this question's from Jack Stokes, who's aged 8. I'm sorry to disappoint you here, Jack, but I haven't played computer games for quite a long time. I don't think I've got the fine motor skills that's required to play. I think probably the my gaming history probably goes back to when I was about your age, and I had a Nintendo. If you know what a Nintendo was, but one of the games I used to play a lot of, me and my brother, was Super Mario Brothers. And I think the only other computers I've had, I think I had a PlayStation, not PlayStation 2, 3 or 4 or whatever it's on now, but the original PlayStation. I think I had that 5 years after the PlayStation 2 came out. So I think one of the games I played on that was a game called Medieval, like a cartoony zombie thing that you go around and complete these brain tasks, which I don't know, I think that's the extent of my gaming history. I think I've probably played Sonic the Hedgehog, something like that. But as far as is it COD or anything like that, Call of Duty or FIFA or anything like that, I don't play games. I'm no good. I think I found this out from an early age and decided that probably the best thing for me to do is to not play games. So sorry to disappoint you, mate, but no, I don't play on computers. Now I'm going to cheat a bit here and say Paul Heyman, but I know what you're going to say. He's not from wrestling's past, he's wrestling present. So what I'm going to say is the manager I'd have from wrestling past is Paulie Dangerously, which, if you know, was what Paul Heyman was known as before he was Paul Heyman, as he is. He had the long ponytail and the big mobile phone and the cap, and yeah, I think definitely Paulie Dangerously, because as a manager he's entertaining, but from what I've read and learned about Paulie Dangerously, he knew as much about the business as any wrestler did. He's got a great mind for the business. So as a manager, I'd have had Paulie Dangerously. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't have anybody else managing me other than Scrubber Daily. So everybody else can get in the sea. I've got my manager and I'm happy with him. So stop trying to change my mind. I'm happy with who I've got. Thank you very much. Scrubber Daily, James Venom, we am and stop. Well, that's it, folks. If you like what you've seen, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Pro Wrestling Live. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. My name's James Venom, and now you know me a little bit better.